Welcome to episode 4 of Madison County Informed. My name is Ty Bechel, Executive Director of Amare, and we are here with Megan Slusser, Clinical Director of Refuge.
Hi, it's great to be here. Thanks for having me. Domestic violence is such an important issue. It's such a prevalent issue that I think people don't realize how common it is.
Do you mind me asking, what kind of got you involved in that type of field with domestic violence?
In college, I decided that I wanted to kind of know how to help people who are really struggling. I had a friend my freshman year of college, who struggled with suicidal thoughts. And as a freshman in college, I had no idea how to help this friend. So I did seek out an opportunity to work on one of the crisis lines at the university where I was, and I got training in crisis work. And through that, I worked with that crisis helpline for about three years while I was in college. And through that, we did training on the cycle of abuse and what intimate partner abuse looks like. And as I was going through that part of the training, it really opened my eyes to the relationship that I was in. I realized how passionate I was about helping survivors. And I think I can sit with a survivor and look them in the eye, and they can understand that I understand where they've been.
I think for everybody watching, so we can get a really good idea of what domestic violence is, what is the definition of domestic violence?
In a nutshell, the basic definition is behaviors that use power and control in a relationship to control the other person. There is actually a lot of factors that work together to create a power and control dynamic. It could be, name calling, belittling. Sometimes I think a phrase that's maybe getting a little bit more popularity is gaslighting. A lot of times there's some sexual violence that's wrapped up in that, or some sexual abuse in relationships, especially. And all those dynamics work together to create a situation where it's hard to get out. It's not healthy for both partners. One of the questions that comes up around domestic violence is, why doesn't the victim leave? It's complicated. There's multiple factors that come in, but some of the things that come in have to do with access to outside resources, kind of situations with children in the families. And when COVID hit and everyone was shut down and in their homes together, there was no access for outside services or access to leave a situation even that's maybe volatile. High stress, high tension, those are situations that just kind of lead to a pressure cooker where there was a lot of increase, I think, in domestic violence.
So what kind of steps do you feel that, if someone's listening that is going through this themselves, or if they have a loved one, what kind of steps could someone go through to get the help and the support that they need?
Sure. I think the most important thing that someone needs to hear, the very first thing, is that this is not your fault. You are not alone. It's such an isolating experience. Think about anytime you've had a relationship, you have problems with your partner. It's hard to talk with other people about what's going on in your own relationship. It's just such a place of privacy and shame at times. And so that reaching out and finding out that you are not the only one going through this, and that there is help available, and that there is support available, is huge. I think first step.
Like, what are some things that you can kind of reinforce for the listeners to kind of look out for, say, hey, this isn't right. We shouldn't be in a relationship and subject ourselves or our family to that?
That's a great question. In an unhealthy relationship, the things to kind of look for, especially from the beginning, are kind of those strong jealousy kind of factors, questions about who you're with, where you're spending time, why is that person in your life, or cutting down of the people that are in your life. Your mom's always talking bad about me. I don't want you to talk to her anymore. Just things like that, kind of ongoing, the ways that you gradually become dependent only on your partner. If you look at your relationship and you see a lot of places where your partner is being controlling or insisting on having their own way, or making the decisions. Those are some flags. And when there are situations that maybe flare up and there is some physical violence, what's the response after that? There should never be a situation like that, but how does your partner respond when that does happen? Does that partner take accountability and seek help, or does that partner say it'll never happen again and then not ever take steps to make sure it never happens again?
I really appreciate you sitting down with us for episode 4 of Madison County Informed. Everybody, that was Megan Slusser, Clinical Director of Refuge. If you are a victim of domestic violence, please do not hesitate to reach out, get the help that you need for you, and especially if you have a family. Until next time.